Well, greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. Listen, I want to thank you guys for last night and for bearing with the twists and turns that the channel takes. The live broadcast with my father and the guests from Italy, that's sort of a family heirloom thing. I mean, you know, let's face it, my dad won't be around forever, and that may be the last time he actually plays, and for him to, you know, basically the story is he met these guys, they actually connected with him on Facebook, and it was the father's dream to have his teenage son who plays the saxophone to come out here and actually play with a real jazz professional like my father. You know, so it proved the tried and proven theory that music is the universal language that bridges all other language barriers. So the son didn't speak any English. The father has, you know, pretty good English, I guess. But, you know, when they got the instruments heated up, you know, you saw it. It was, if you haven't seen it, check it out. That's definitely going to be a keeper. So today, in about 2 hours, I've got to take the father and son that are leaving back to Italy tomorrow. They're heading to Italy tomorrow. So I'm going to take them out for a nice American dinner tonight. They've never been in the U.S. before. They should be in D.C. touring today. But I'm going to take them out for some good barbecue ribs and, you know, full-blown thing. Which, by the way, man, I hit a whole new low today. I hit, you know, I was at 255, which was a goal. It took me years to get to 255. And I sort of got down below that. And this morning I'm at 252, which, that's unbelievable. And I'm going to undo it all tonight because I'm going to be in a rib place with baked potatoes. And look, man, I'm just going to go crazy and I'll start my fight again tomorrow. So without breaking out all the weapons and doing all the videos that I promised you, and they are coming. This is everything's going to wind down. My father's surgery's tomorrow. But I wanted to talk a little bit about just my own theory on what's going on with these so-called Antifa cockbiters. These are the people that, you know, you see them on the news dressed in black and breaking windows, and all in the name of anti-establishment, I mean, if you ask 10 of them what they're protesting for, you get 10 different answers. I mean, these are people, these are young people for the most part who literally have no clue who was fighting during World War II. I mean, this is not just to bash them, but they are the most ignorant fucks I've ever seen in the history of my life. And I mean, let's face it, you can't underestimate ignorance. You get enough stupid people in a country and you can lose a country. So it's a force to be concerned about. But I've been doing a lot of thinking about what drives these people. I think I might be onto something. I'm going to run it by you and then you guys tell me what you think. So when you think about these guys, picture everybody you've seen in the Antifa movement. Anti-fascist is, I guess, what that stands for. I mean, let's face it, man. These are not clearly these are not people who have full-time careers. They're not people who have contributed a lot to society, for the most part, because they're just too young. And if they're not in the military and they're not doing something worthwhile, then they're probably pretty much, you know, still living at home, or living in a trailer park somewhere. Not that there's anything wrong with that. God knows I spent my younger years when I was a kid before the military living in squalor, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you know, if you're not fighting and scratching and clawing your way out, what the fuck good are you? So these guys, in my opinion, are pretty much your non-performers, you know. All of us want to stand for something, and I actually draw a correlation between the Antifa people and, for the most part, active liberals. These are the protesters, you know, and I hate calling them protesters. They're all rioters and troublemakers. Let's just call them protesters, just so that we're, you know, I don't have to keep correcting myself. I draw a clear correlation between them and ISIS, and here's why. Bear with me on this. When you look at ISIS, the people that comprise ISIS, and these are the 99% of them, not the, you know, the dyed-in-the-wool hardcore jihadist leadership who are directing and managing and creating things like public relations channels and the what is it called, the propaganda part of ISIS. But the actual guys that are running through the street with machine guns and raping and cutting people's throats and cutting their heads off and all this, those guys, that's not, let's say it's about 90%, 99% of these guys. Before this whole ISIS uprising, and before that Al-Qaeda, and regardless of who created them and how they came about, the meat and potatoes of the actual combatants are such, and you can do your own research if you think I'm wrong, but the meat and potatoes of it is that they are people who are young, out of work in their respective, Muslim countries, or in some cases like, the ones that come from Europe, United Kingdom, Australia, whatever, and even here for that matter. So these are people that are typically out of work. They have absolutely no social life in terms of romance, and in a lot of the Muslim and Arab countries, it's just the way society is. I mean, you can't hold hands in public, you can't show public affection. It's very hard for them to meet people. It's almost like an arranged marriage kind of thing. I give you 2 goats and a camel, and you let your daughter marry my son. But if you don't have anything, what are they? You gotta have something to barter with, especially when you talk about somebody's son. So these people have gone through their life, these young people, in squalor with nothing to look forward to. They're typically living in a shithole anyways, just by my own opinion, my own standards. And along comes this group, we'll just deal with ISIS, who promises them a mission, not just a mission, but a mission from God above. And the mission is very clearly defined. It's like slaughter every non-believer, and suddenly you can rape and take the wives of the non-believers. You can have 4 or 5 wives. You can have slaves. Suddenly you had nothing. You were living in some shithole. Now you can drive pickup trucks, which is a big deal for young people that didn't have any possibility of ever having a vehicle. Now they can drive pickup trucks with guns mounted on the back. They can carry weapons. They can rape anyone that they want. They can satisfy their bloodlust and their excitement and just the invigorating feeling that must come with slaughtering the fuck out of innocent people. And you can feel great about it because you're doing it on command of under the command of God Himself, who created all these people that you hate, and He loves it, according to them, when you slaughter them. So that's great. And you want to have world domination so that you can be, you're part of something big, is what I'm saying. You're part of something huge, as opposed to just living in a fucking mud hut, wishing you had some money or your family had money so you could actually get married. What jobs are there, in rural Afghanistan or a lot of these other places, Libya now. You name it. Okay, so let's fast forward now and get to the Antifa guys. They are the mirror image, in my opinion, of these ISIS fighters. These are people who make no difference in life. You take 99% of these Antifa people, and if they died today, in 30 days, nobody on the planet would ever know that they were here. They've never done anything that is substantial for anybody other than themselves. And this is not just insulting them just for the sake of insulting them. I've given this a lot of thought. These are people who don't serve anything bigger than themselves. They don't serve the military either because they're too lazy, or they're just, they'll tell you they have their various beliefs as to why, but the fact of the matter is the military probably won't accept half of these cocksuckers. So you got that. And the military is not the end-all, be-all. I mean, have any of them ever volunteered locally in their society? Have they built houses for the poor? Have they worked at a soup kitchen? Have they worked at their equivalent of the Midnight Mission? Have they, done it? Have they adopted a highway and picked up trash? No. No, because these are destroyers, and these are people that have no self-value. They have no self-esteem. And suddenly they've got a mission, just like ISIS. They can hate Trump, or any, you put in the name, it doesn't matter who, as long as it's from a team that's not their team. They can hate, they can direct their hate toward action, which, you know, we, like I said, we wake up in the morning, we all want to have a mission, something to do. And, you know, how long can somebody play video games? Although I do have a few family members who are trying to set world records. But, you know, for the most part, man, you want to get out and do something and feel like you're part of something huge. Going out there and throwing rocks at the police and smashing windows and burning down buildings and burning up cars, man, that's something to do. I know it sounds like I'm minimizing or trivializing the destruction, but I honestly believe that I'm onto something in terms of a good part of what's happening with these people. You know, I just saw somebody posted a poster of this guy and a lady with tattoos all over the face and nose rings, ear rings, cheek rings, studs on the forehead. You know, fuck the world tattooed on them, and it says, you know, nobody will give us a job because Trump's president. I mean, this is the mentality. I mean, these people are fucked up. They have broken off of the societal norms, some of which are like get your ass up and out and get involved in life. You know, they will motherfuck the police up one side and down the other, but they don't do anything to fucking become the change that they want. Hey, go join the fucking police department if you're a cop hater and fucking change it. You know? So I think you guys get the point. So in summary, when you look at these guys and they're protesting and they're burning flags, try and look beyond the action and ask yourself, what's making these motherfuckers act like this? I mean, these are sons and daughters, but I guarantee you, they are not people who are productive. They have nothing of value, and they know it. I mean, imagine that. It must feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? It must feel like shit to know that you've never done a goddamn thing for anybody but yourself. I can't even imagine that. And I'm no fucking hero, but like most of you, we actually give a shit about things like our country, or getting up and going to work and fucking adding to the economy and fucking going through the daily struggles of trying to improve ourselves and our lives and our country, or our fucking neighborhood, or our city, or our state. Yeah. So think about that, and let me know what your thoughts are. I would do more, but like I said, I got to start preparing for tonight's fiesta, and then tomorrow is Pop's surgery on his foot. I just posted a thing, man. I had to do it. It's not for the faint of heart, man. I had shot a little video when he was at the wound care center, and they were cleaning out his foot, you know, in preparation for the skin graft tomorrow. Holy fuck, I've seen some nasty shit, man. But you know, my father's got me beat on this one, man. There's just something about digging around an exposed Achilles tendon that just makes my fucking skin crawl. And as my grandfather would have said, it doesn't smell real good when my asshole crawls across my nose. Anyways, that's it. I hope you guys are doing good. LMS Tactical, stay safe. I'm out.